From Starfire Sports Stadium, it's time for Washington High School Boys Lacrosse 1A-2A State Championship between the Bellingham Bayhawks and the Enum-Claw Hornets. Casey Bryant here, joined by Tim Luce. We're getting ready for the presentation of the nation's colors and the playing of the anthem. We turn you over to public address.
SWCC is an acronym, and it stands for Special Warfare Combatant Craft Crewman. SWCC is an acronym, and it stands for Special Warfare Combatant Craft Crewman.
You know, you can stand across from the guy and say, you know what, he's got your back. And, you know, that's the guy you're counting on. If something goes wrong, he's going to be there.
In the end, we're fighting for each other.
Here on team, you know, about 22 of us on the boat. You know them personally, so you know exactly whose life you have in your hands.
Everyone's come together, and everyone's sole mission is to do their job individually as best they can to benefit everyone else in the boat.
I got a brotherhood, and it's a real brotherhood, and it's a loyal and honest brotherhood, and that's what matters.
The Enum-Claw Hornets taking on the Bellingham Bayhawks. And Tim, this is a clash of the Titans at the 1A-2A level. On the one hand, you've got Enum-Claw looking to go back-to-back and win state titles. For Bellingham, they've got a perfect season on the line. This is as good as it gets at this level.
Absolutely. Looking to see Enum-Claw come out fast and heavy hitting with their offense. Curious to see what Bellingham will bring as far as defense today against the Enum-Claw Hornets in the championship.
I tell you what, Enum-Claw has been one of the more powerhouse teams on their way here. They beat up on Cedro Woolley in order to get here.
Absolutely, yeah. 24-3 victory over Cedro Woolley in the semifinals. They outscored Cedro Woolley 9-1 in the first, 6-2 in the second, then 9 unanswered to finish 24-3.
A massive victory, and meanwhile, on the other side of things, Bellingham 13-0 in the regular season and then a pair of playoff victories here. Bellingham is going to need a huge performance out of their midfielder Wyatt Steffen because he ranks as one of the most successful players in all of the state tournament this entire postseason.
Absolutely. Bellingham coming off a victory against Ording, beating them in the semis 18-8. Bellingham has not been beaten this season, 15-0 record, 6 per sportability out of league. Just an insane season for them. Let's see if Enum-Claw can knock them off their throne.
Now, Bellingham, of course, in the championship game for the first time since 2017. It's just the second time since 2005 that they've made their way to the 1A-2A state championship game. Meanwhile, Enum-Claw, the 2023 reigning champions, 16 seniors on Enum-Claw's roster trying to close out their tenure with a W. The starting lineups here, first for the Enum-Claw Hornets. Up front on attack, Kobe Kane is out with Jack Popke and Cole Carnino. At midfield, you've got Gregory Garwick-Fox alongside Wyatt New and Colby Richardson. On defense, Will Harper with Anthony Mills and Garrison Shatswell. Liam Bollinger is in goal. For Bellingham up front, Giles Johnson with Holden Bates and Cyrus Campos. At midfield, Oliver Abbott out with Wyatt Steffen and Eli Martins. On defense, it is Evan Jocks with Gabriel Van Hofwegen and Elliot Levinson. Rourke O'Malley is in goal. Bellingham running right to left on your STSPN screens, wearing black jerseys with red and white striping. Enum-Claw in their white jerseys with red and white accenting. Opening face-off to Enum-Claw.
Looks like Abbott went a little bit early on the face-off there. Enum-Claw will take control.
It is Kobe Kane on the right side. Kane, a dangerous scorer. Someone who had goals in 15 games in the regular season. They get it out to the center of the field to Gunnar Trachty. He starts forward and cuts to his right. Trachty looking down low. It's off of the top of the stick of Kobe Kane and all the way to the back sideline. And a loose ball, and it looks like possession will be pointed towards Bellingham's way. The undefeated Bayhawks start out from behind their net. Wyatt Steffen, most goals in the playoffs heading into today, 12 goals heading into today's contest. He bounces it over to Bly Henderson. Henderson to his right finds Holden Bates. Throws it behind the net, hanging onto it, Giles Johnson. Johnson, 8 hat tricks this season. Someone that you definitely have to look out for in terms of goal scoring, Tim. He's one of the best.
Well, Wyatt Steffen also one of 2 All-Americans on the team.
A lot of talent up and down as Bly Henderson gets it around behind the net. Finds it to Cyrus Campos. Campos taking some heavy stick checks, and he's finally knocked to the turf, but a flag.
That push to the turf will draw the flag against Enumclaw here early in the first.
Garrison Shatswell draws the flag as possession to Bellingham. Holding on the far side, drifting back is Campos. Looking for a passing option. He dishes over towards Steffen.
Bayhawks with the free play here, looking to ISO a man out on the right side.
Steffen bounces it over, intended for Henderson. Hops over his stick. He settles it down, though he takes heavy pressure from Harper. Luce is controlling the ball once more as Harper draped all over him, ties up the stick and boxes him out. Look at the strength of Harper.
See the penalty being enforced here as Enumclaw gains possession. They'll lose it right back to the Bayhawks as they'll incur a penalty. Number 17 will take a knee in the box.
And out is Shatswell. And an opportunity for Bellingham to strike first. Bellingham in the regular season was led by Steffen, 37 goals. Bringing up the rear there, Giles Johnson with 34. Both Johnson and Steffen had 56 points in the regular season.
Wyatt Steffen will start us off near sideline.
And the Bayhawks looking to quarterback the offense. 2 minutes gone by in the first quarter. Looking for the game's first tally. You know, this morning when we were watching the 4A championships, Tim, it took only 40 seconds for the scoring to start. A little bit more of a deliberate approach here for Bellingham.
I don't necessarily think that's an offensive thing. I think both teams are going to learn a little bit about each other, develop a rhythm, and the game will pick up as we go.
Feeling each other out in the early stages. There's a bouncing shot, and on cue, a goal from Wyatt Steffen.
Steffen, the All-American, steps in with a bouncing shot into the back of the goal.
Steffen's 13th goal of the playoffs. His 15th point. He has been a monster on the ball, and he gets Bellingham up. Just 2:08 gone by in the first quarter. And a terrific start there. Wyatt Steffen, one of the captains on this team. Not only is he good offensively, but he gets those ground balls, too, for Bellingham. He's a real do-it-all kind of player.
Absolutely. Ground ball machine. And it's going to be necessary here in the championships.
Between him and Martins both, there's 100 ground balls between the two of them exactly. As possession is picked up by Steffen, and he starts in a pass down low, and a short angle goal for Giles Johnson.
Quick head fake right up on the crease, just enough to get the goalie off his stance and away from the ball. Up by 2 now, go the Bayhawks.
Sneaking it in that near side post. And if you're Liam Bollinger, they're the goaltender for Enumclaw, you'd like to see him take that extra step up and challenge the shot, because right there you're just allowing too much space.
Got to get wide on that arch. Spread out in the crease.
And a terrific pass there from Steffen finds Giles Johnson. For Johnson, his 6th goal of the playoffs. His 8th point. And now possession to Enumclaw as the Hornets go to work. Starting forward, bouncing off a defender, dishing it over to the right, and Kane can't handle the pass.
Wyatt New able to come out with possession. The Hornets right out of the gate.
And Kobe Kane bounces it around behind the net to Popke. Popke, one of the more dangerous goal scorers for Enumclaw.
Popke, all-conference points leader here for Enumclaw.
74 of them in the regular season, as there is a arching pass that's around behind the net. Giving chase forward is Popke, and possession will remain with Enumclaw. Popke flicks it over towards Cole Carnino. The two of them have formed a real double threat up front. Popke has a man waiting in front of Aiden Voorhees. They look him off for now. Searching for a path to the net. He bounces off a defender, spins away, nothing allowed. Good job by Elliot Levinson standing in front.
Another
loose ball.
all-conference select there, Elliot Levinson, playing defense and getting the ball going the other way now. That's a flag inside.
Flag thrown as Jocks carries it in. And you can see Jocks turn on the Jets there, and that's a good job done there by the long stick, being able to sustain offensive zone time for Bellingham to start. 8:20 to go here in the first quarter. It is a 2-0 early lead here for the Bayhawks. Simon Fuller looking over towards his right for Holden Bates. Bates a distance from the goal. Gets around one defender, gets wrapped up by a second, and has the stick whacked out of his hands. That was Aiden Voorhees on defense. And Voorhees wrapping him up in a bear hug as he tried to get to the center of the field there. Trying to take the body and establish some physicality for Enumclaw.
Looks like they're going to get a slash called against the Hornets and then put a man in the box.
Early penalty trouble here for Enumclaw has pushed them back on their heels to start.
It's Kobe Kane, Region 5 of lowly Puget Sound 2A conference, all-conference select in box.
And so Wyatt Steffen and Eli Martins leading the offense from the back end. It is Steffen at the near side of your screens. As Steffen starts it off by dishing over to his left, he gets it down low for Johnson. Well, Johnson and Steffen have already found the back of the net. On the outside retreating is Fuller. Martins for Steffen. They swap spots. Simon Fuller dishing it down low. A turnaround shot whistles wide. Possession remains with Enumclaw, 7:35 remaining in the first quarter.
Giles Johnson backing up the shot for Bellingham. He'll bring the ball to X.
And Johnson, who had 5 goals and 2 assists heading into today's game, someone that they wanted to get going early and get the ball into his stick. And the offense has flown through him. Around behind the net, set up in front, behind the back. What a beauty! Eli Martins.
Eli Martins, the senior, getting to the right side of the crease and making a pay with a behind-the-back zinger.
Well, we saw the effect that a highlight reel goal like that could happen in this morning's 4A championship, and it's just a soft pass in front
Almost
that finds its way.
Spot there.
Absolutely.
The wow, what a find.
And Cyrus Campos with the setup, and it will be an early timeout with 7:18 remaining in the first quarter. Bellingham leaping out to a 3-0 lead, burying every chance that they get. A reminder while we have ourselves a timeout that the Seattle Lacrosse Club is the longest-running post-collegiate lacrosse team in the Pacific Northwest, dating back to the early 1970s. Current 30-man team has players from Bellingham to Tacoma and everywhere in between. 19 players have played NCAA college lacrosse at schools such as Notre Dame, Denver, Army, Vermont, my alma mater, the Marist College Red Foxes, Nazareth, Cabrini, and Mercyhurst, while the majority of the others played MCLA at the University of Washington. Most of the players are locally born and continue to coach for WHS BLA programs. Geez, that's nice. Bellingham, 3-0 lead with 7:18 remaining in the first quarter. And for Enumclaw here, it seems like they came out a little bit jittery, Tim, because their first few passes, they're not quite connecting. They're not quite winning the faceoffs. They need something to break their way so they can get their land legs under them.
Got to start clicking like the championship team they know they can be, and we're ready to see it.
So out to take the faceoff for Enumclaw is Colby Richardson. Now, Richardson, one of the best ground ball men in the entire state. This season, 125 ground balls in the regular season. For reference, the 3 midfielders of Bellingham combined for 141.
It's insane what this kid has accomplished this season.
And so as Richardson lines up for the faceoff, it is pushed back by Bellingham, but we'll get a whistle as the ball dropped erroneously, and we'll do it again. Has more on Richardson, only a junior too, so he's still got another year ahead. Last year he had 78 ground balls as a sophomore. He's someone that's just so ferocious in his pursuit of the ball, and you need guys like that in your midfield.
Got to have guys to pick up possession for your team, and he's one of them.
He boxes out on the faceoff dot. Goes the bottom of the circles, and it's won away by Enumclaw, and they're off to the races. Charging forward, quick pass over to the left doorstep. Sharp angle shot turned away, and a good save made there by Rourke O'Malley. Turning away Wyatt New. Bouncing ball over to the far sideline, and it's run out of bounds. And possession will go to Enumclaw.
That's exactly what we're talking about, Casey. We've got to get our passes crisp, or the ball is going to go the other way, and Enumclaw makes him pay.
Wyatt New finds Kane around behind the net, over towards Popke. Flicked back towards the top of the offensive zone. As you see Enumclaw trying to stack options down in front of the net. They've got two men standing right by those posts as they get a bouncing pass that's over the net and well out of bounds. Possession still to Enumclaw.
Number 20 here, Gunnar Trachty, a big man on the field, made his way across two defenders before letting that one go.
And a tricky chance there, too, because he sends that straight into the turf, trying to bounce it and try to perhaps catch the netminder off guard.
One to follow.
As holding along the near side of your screen, Kobe Kane. 6 goals and 13 points in 2 playoff games prior to this one.
Another all-conference select for Enumclaw.
Out to the top of the zone. Holding onto it is New. He dishes it over to his left. Taking the step forward is Trachty. Pitching catch with Carnino. Trachty over to his right, New. Finds its way to Kane. Kobe Kane holding onto it with a long stick in front of him. Slides it back as Aiden Voorhees. Hands to Kane to the doorstep. A shot that scores.
What an angle. What an angle. Number 13, Carnino, finding an angle just around GLE and stinging in the net. Putting the Hornets on the board. 5:47 left in the first.
A much-needed tally for Enumclaw as Carnino, who had 42 goals in the regular season, picks up his 9th of the playoffs. And Enumclaw officially on the stat sheet. The Hornets now trail 3-1 with 5:55 remaining in the first quarter. And that was good ball movement, too, there. We talked about the necessity to settle things down, get into a groove. They found their flow.
Absolutely. Let's hope they can stay on it, keep the ball moving around, and find the right looks for their offense.
Leaned on in the faceoff circle, and that's another good effort there by Richardson as he swipes it over for Enumclaw, and the Hornets get the ball back. Healthy contingent in yellow. The shocking yellow color in the stands has come to be something of a tradition for Enumclaw fans in every sport.
Absolutely. The Hornets, with their crimson and gold, line the stands here at Starfire, just as they do back at home in Enumclaw at Pete's Pool.
And you see Trachty with the bright yellow cleats on as well.
Yeah, a couple players now with the yellow cleats to match their team's colors. Helps us in the booth to tell.
You don't lose sight of him, that's for sure.
Well, not to mention he's probably 6'3". He's a stature of a man down there, 20.
Around behind the net to Popke. Popke working it back out towards Trachty, the senior.
Trachty looking to ISO number 77.
And Trachty powers his way around a defender. Bouncing shot, he scores!
Exactly what he was hoping to set up. And as soon as he gets around, he fires and stings the back of the net. Trachty, right here in the replay, banging one off the turf and to find top right, just around the goalie. What a great play. Heads up by Trachty.
Now, Gunnar Trachty had scored in 14 of 15 total games, make that 15 of 16 total appearances this year. Only O'Day High School back on April 30th was able to keep him from the back of the net.
O'Day, another top team here in the Pacific Northwest, competing later today in the championship for prep.
4:49 remaining in the first quarter, and Enumclaw, once down 3-0, has back to make it 3-2, and they're racing forward once more. It's Richardson with a chance that's turned away. Terrific save by Rourke O'Malley to keep his team up.
Richardson winning face-off and pulling it one himself up against O'Malley. O'Malley just standing tall in the crease. And miscommunication here by the offense.
There was more pressure as back come the Hornets. Aiden Voorhees on the far side.
Voorhees, another all-conference select for Enumclaw.
Tracty looking to lower the shoulder over the new, working the outside. Kane back behind the net, just out of reach of Popke. Another ground ball scooped up by Popke.
Tracty calling for the ball at the top.
And they can't get him to him. He's swarmed by two defenders, but scooped right back up. Great play by Voorhees. To Tracty, fakes the pass, cuts forward. Tracty, bouncing shot is over the shoulder. Oh, O'Malley. Now you go to school here. This is the way that they've attacked him a couple times now, trying to get the bouncer over his shoulder.
Yeah, you gotta learn from past mistakes and step up, stop ball. Don't let him bulldodge his way to the crease.
O'Malley in the regular season 12-0 with a .652 save percentage. In the course of this playoffs, a .629 save percentage. He's been one of the toughest netminders to beat in the entire state.
Absolutely.
At the far side, working on the outside, it is Cole Carnino. Carnino flicks it over to Tracty, through whom the offense flows. Tracty starts to his right with a lane, sends it off the side of the net. And this bounces to the back sideline. Possession still with Enumclaw.
Not by lack of efforts from the goalie there, getting out of the cage, trying to win chase.
And O'Malley is a veteran who knows how to win. A 31-4 career record, backstopping Bellingham as a nice move, cutting in front, and a stop made by O'Malley, taking the step up. What a save!
With a fake, and then jumps in front of the cage, trying an underhanded back shot, and just missed. Bollinger doing his job well tonight.
A terrific stop on Carnino as a bouncing pass is intercepted by New on the back check, and up he comes, racing forward. He'll slow things up as Enumclaw gets back to work, trying to equalize with 2:25 left in the first quarter. Aiden Voorhees, a terrific two-way player over the course of this playoffs.
Or he's looking to pull his defender out. He'll get around.
Takes some stick checks to the midsection, a shooting lane, and a save by O'Malley.
Rocket take into O'Malley's net.
And you see it hold it off for emphasis there. Look what I got. And able to slow up play with 2:07 to go in the quarter.
You got to take every opportunity to give your offense and your defense some breathing room, and this is one of those times.
Possession here will be set up by the Enumclaw Hornets as they get it back with Kane on the outside. It'll be Kane on that right wing. Quickly out to Wiley Craighead. For Kane, looking for an option down low, nothing doing, sends it to the top. Here's Tracty, bouncing it towards the net, scooped up and a chance. Here for Carnino, save made by O'Malley. And O'Malley fired up.
Looked like he spread his foot out, stopped that one with a cleat. What a show.
And a bomb of a pass downfield. It is intercepted by Enumclaw, but a huge clearance on the part of O'Malley. You know, I'm a hockey guy, Tim, so whenever I see a goaltender celebrate, I always think of the Patrick Law Statue of Liberty. He would make a glove save and hold it aloft for the crowd to cheer. You don't see that kind of fire from a goaltender too often.
I don't think they have a whole lot of time back there. It's straight back to work. There he goes.
But it turns it there. A rising shot from Colby Richardson. And Enumclaw has tied it.
Not just a ground ball machine. He's proven he can shoot too. Colby Richardson, the junior, having a day.
Richardson had 6 goals in 16 games in the regular season, but that is his third of the playoffs in as many games. A big-time performer here in the postseason when Enumclaw is needed the most. And with 1:27 remaining in the corner, we're all tied up at 3.
Absolutely. What a crucial point.
And as far as the shot, lacrosse is such a game of ebbs and flows. Momentum can swing at the drop of a hat, and it was all Bellingham first half of this quarter, second half of this quarter. Enumclaw has really had complete control of the ball.
All it really takes is one special move, and the fire is lit, and the team has been crazy. Voorhees breaking his way to the middle.
And Voorhees taken down with a high check. Crowd wanted a flag, but no such luck. As a turnover forced and a bouncing ball is scooped up the other way by Holden Bates. As he starts forward, and we'll get a whistle and a timeout being called by Bellingham. A minute to go here in the first quarter. We'll take a quick timeout. You are watching and listening to STSPN's coverage of the 1A, 2A state championship. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, red light. This should be the red light. You got anything?
This is what we train for, every day.
We just received new intel that there's an enemy presence at the airstrip compound.
All those years. When you're the first to arrive, it's not enough to be ready. You have to be relentless. It's our job to control the ground and the sky, wherever they may meet, even behind enemy lines. They call us one-man air traffic control towers, but we're more than that.
Ivy Lima Charlie, break. Airfield is stable. You are clear to land.
We turn hell into an airstrip. And clear the way for others to follow.
Back at Starfire Sports Stadium, Casey Bryant here with Tim Luce for the 1A, 2A state championship. Washington boys lacrosse. A 3-0 lead for Bellingham has been squandered. Enumclaw has battled back to make it 3-3. And an Enumclaw chant up from the yellow and maroon in the stands. Pressure opportunity here for Bellingham with a minute left in the first quarter. After that timeout, they'll probably be looking to try to just end this quarter with something positive, some offensive pressure here.
I believe you're right.
Stepping forward, and a pass is sent into the near corner. Well out of bounds. And this one will belong to Enumclaw. That's certainly not what they drew up there in that timeout.
Absolutely not. A goalie out of the crease for Enumclaw. Bollinger looking for a man upfield, now getting to midfield line.
They'll retreat as the Hornets are able to charge forth. It's New. Wyatt New with a chance. Goodness me.
Switches from left to right, 15 yards off of the crease. Takes one.
Good opportunity. It is Cole Carnino. Working to Kane, back out to Tracty. Shakes and bakes over to his left. Bouncing shot is blocked in front. Turnaround chance, that's sent wide. Round behind to Carnino. Hard pass over. And downed by a heavy hit. Throwing his weight into that one was Wyatt Steffen, and a bouncing ball is kicked out to center.
Now the penalty try is far side.
As Enumclaw takes control and believe this would be a penalty against the Hornets.
I believe so, yes.
And look at that, the referee lost a shoe back there. Good eye by our producer, Todd.
Well, they're definitely in the game and showing some athleticism having to run down the field.
Listen, it happens, you know. It's well, there's 9 seconds left in the first quarter, so I believe they're going to let that run off. And that brings us to the end of the first quarter, and we are deadlocked at 3, a back-and-forth affair in which you could pretty much cut it right down the middle as terms as who controlled that quarter.
Absolutely, yep. Both fights from both teams, shots fired, 3-3. You can't ask for better lacrosse.
When we come back, we'll have the second quarter. You are watching and listening to STSPN's coverage of the 1A, 2A Washington State Championship.
Lacrosse Wolf is the Northwest premier supplier for all.
Wrapped up. Trying to keep it in the offensive zone. Heavy check thrown by Carnino. It opens up some space for Jack Popke. Great job by Carnino to keep it in the offensive zone.
Carnino with a yard sale.
And came with an airborne pass that's picked off. And a good job done there by Gabriel Van Hofwagen. Buried up ahead by Bellingham. On the left side with speed, trying to just claim the zone, settle things down as faking the shot and charging forward, wrapped up in a bouncer. They score. Wyatt Steffen with his second of the game.
Wyatt Steffen stepping in with a bounce shot, finding top left of the net. Bouncing one just past the goaler, Bollinger.
His third point, and Bollinger is not the biggest of net miners in terms of stature, so able to bounce that over his shoulder. That was perfectly placed under the top bar.
Well done.
Wyatt Steffen with his second goal of the contest, his third point after assisting on Giles Johnson's goal. So that gives him 17 points in 2+ games of playoff action here in the state tournament. Just 50 seconds into the second quarter, Bellingham has reclaimed the 4-3 lead. Enumclaw to work. They establish the zone as Kane gets it back.
Colby Richardson doing a great job at face-off. Getting possession right out of the gate.
All important as Carnino wires it well wide. From behind the net, holding on to it will be Jack Popke. Popke, who scores in bunches for these even Enumclaw Hornets. 11 hat tricks. His best performance, a 7-goal outing back on March 29th at Ording in a 19-10 win. Taking the step up is Aiden Voorhees. Voorhees looks down low for Kane. Standing directly behind the net, he takes a heavy hook from behind.
He'll get a foot in the crease, and the ref will call it. There'll be a man in the crease there, so Bellingham will take over.
And an emphatic signal. And so Bellingham will charge fourth. Good speed being flashed by Steffen. Steffen powering forward. Meets a wall of defenders. And the Hornets start the other way.
Anytime Hornets lose possession, they swarm the ball, and you can see that benefiting them here.
And Carnino completing the swarm, pun intended, for the Hornets. We're tied at 4.
Absolutely great job by Carnino, finding some open space here. We'll see in the replay. The fake, rolling inside, finding the 5-hole on the goalie, and we're tied at 4.
That dipsy doodle that he does there to get around the defender. He's got Van Hoffweg in front of him. He cuts it to his left, then back over to his right to beat the goalie. That's fancy.
I love it. I don't know if the kids call it a dipsy doodle these days.
What?
We'll go with it.
Am I dating myself?
I knew what you meant, Casey.
I'm up with the hip lingo. Got the slang working. Goal was lit.
There you go.
2 minutes gone by in the second quarter. We are tied at 4.
Kick out to the wing. Wyatt New waiting for the ball there. He'll find the good grass. Get by the first defender. Shot!
And oh boy, what a save. O'Malley coming up with another low stop on that shot by New. O'Malley distributes over to his left and to work. Big home run pass, kick knocked out of the hands. Loose ball on the ground. Enumclaw vying for it.
Will Harper, the deep hole for Enumclaw over there, causing 2 balls down.
Giles Johnson loses control and back up the other way. Enumclaw, a break here for Carnino. He scoops it up by the near side post. Almost had himself a clean breakaway. Don't see that too often. Around back towards Giles Johnson. Check that. That's Jack Popke. Voorhees over to his right for Tracty. Long strides, powering his way in close. Over to Kane. Back out to the top of the zone for Aiden Voorhees. Surveys his options. Voorhees juggles with the ball for a moment. Lost control. Gets it right back. Over to his left for Carnino, who has 2 already.
Carnino looking to isolate his defender, pull a man out.
Bry Henderson will oblige. He gets on by him. Carnino fires and scores. Sending the hats. It's the third of the game for Carnino.
Carnino goes low to high on that shot, skimming the turf and hitting top right on the net, just past the goalie. We'll see here in the replay. Low to high finds the left side of the net.
A beautiful shot for his 10th hat trick of the campaign.
Wow.
Carnino is someone who scores in bunches, 42 in the regular season, and he has only gotten hotter as the playoffs wear on. That is his 11th of the playoffs. 8:42 remaining in the second quarter, and Enumclaw has themselves a 5-4 lead.
The Enumclaw chants begin again here in the stands.
And we've had a back-and-forth contest here. This is everything that you could ask for out of a state championship game. We've had a lot of back-and-forth contests. The 4A championship, Skyline comes away with a victory and what was a come-from-behind win. And now we've got another tight one as Bellingham to work. A rising shot by Steffen, just missed. Your boy Steffen went up high, and you could see Bollinger sinking back into his net. There was a lot of room to shoot for.
Just a little high of the cage, inches over the cross pipe.
8:10 to go in the quarter. Charging over is a chance for Simon Fuller, and a bouncing shot and a save by Bollinger.
Bollinger leans down for that one, has to put a knee to the turf to pick it up. But a stop nonetheless. Now he's out of the cage, cruising midfield, looking to find a man upfield, and the ride is heavy.
Bollinger with a short pass before he retreats back to the net. Bollinger, a .500 save percentage heading into today's contest, 6 for 12.
Tracty, little dodge, far side,
and Tracty just misses, and you could see him emphatically throwing his arms out. He wanted that one badly. And I tell you, it's that first step to get around a defender that Tracty has that makes him so effective. It's that power stride to get by.
Absolutely, yeah. And once he gets there, he's hard to get back on. The chase is
a spin try, and they score. Jack Popke, his first goal of the contest. It is 6-4 Enumclaw.
Popke, another 2A Puget Sound All-Conference select. He's also the points leader for Enumclaw, showing why, putting one on the board right here.
40 goals, 74 points in the regular season for Popke, his 8th strike of the playoffs. Officiating for Huddles briefly here for a moment with 7:32 left in the second quarter. But that tag team of Popke and Carnino, right now they're moving the ball at will, and with Tracty at the top facilitating, this is a dangerous Enumclaw offense.
Absolutely. Bellingham's going to have to wake up on defense and interrupt it, trying to get this rough about that offense.
And all three of those guys were on the team last year. That's one of the biggest parts of the Enumclaw. So many of those players from last year's state team came back for this season. They have twice as many seniors as Bellingham, as there's another pass down low and another quick goal. It's Popke within seconds of his last goal.
Popke with a quick stick right up on the cage, right in between, literally sandwiched between defenders. He makes a smash, falls down, and gets his goal right as he's at it.
What was that, 3 seconds from his last one? That is quick work. Face-off win, get it down low, attack, attack, attack.
That's all it takes, Casey.
And it starts with a face-off win by Richardson, who really win the draw, get over to the sideline, let the offense go to work. Tied up on the dot. Bellingham in need of a response. It pops back, and it's scooped up by Bellingham as they start forward. Stolen away. Here come the Hornets. Rising passes over the outstretched stick of Carnino. Trickling over to the near sideline.
R.J. Struthers.
It is Struthers holding on to it. Struthers back towards Carnino. To Wiley Craighead. Over to Tracty.
And here it goes again. Tracty far side.
Tracty with a laser beam that's blocked in front.
Right into Rourke O'Malley's net there. Going to have to be a little bit more fancy to get one by the senior goalie for Bellingham.
And I tell you, to beat O'Malley as many times as the Enumclaw Hornets already have is a rarity. There's been strong showing here for the Enumclaw offense. Bouncing ball. Reaching for it and starting ahead. A good ground ball recovery there for Garrison Shatswell.
Shatswell scoops through defenders, getting across midfield and looking to get his offense started as we're fighting for a ground ball now far side.
A pileup of bodies, and a whistle will finally blow. As that was good effort there by Shatswell. He's a senior who is usually a stay-at-home kind of guy, take up some space, doesn't rack up the ground balls. His job is just to utilize his frame and utilize his reach Good job to get himself out of danger there. Spinning with the ball around behind his Struthers. Over towards Kane, calling for it Carnino, and you could see him shrugging his shoulders. He wanted that backdoor feed.
He's calling for the ball.
And he'll get it. Twirling with the stick. Crow Hop starts forward as a pick set for him. Voorhees over to his left for New.
Tyler Frost blew up a screen on that play down low.
And New starts forward, and a shot that's a save made by O'Malley. I tell you, this game could be well out of reach already if not for O'Malley, but an interception starting forward. Carnino score!
Carnino gets him with the head fake. Looks high, shoots low, and makes him pay. Carnino, once again, here it is for the replay. With the head fake, all it takes is just a minor head fake to get that goalie off his bead, and bam.
It is the fourth goal of the game for Cole Carnino. In the second quarter, Carnino with 3, Popke with 2, and Enumclaw has opened up an 8-4 lead over Bellingham. 5:22 left in the second quarter. A timeout called, and we'll throw it to a quick break. You are watching STSPN's coverage of the 1A2A State Championship. Don't go anywhere.
SWCC is an acronym, and it stands for Special Warfare Combatant Craft Crewman.
You know, you can stand across from the guy and say, you know what, he's got your back. And, you know, that's the guy you're counting on. If something goes wrong, he's going to be there.
In the end, we're fighting for each other.
Here on the team, about 22 of us on the boat. You know them personally, so you know exactly whose life you have in your hands.
Everyone's come together, and everyone's sole mission is to do their job individually as best they can to benefit everyone else in the boat.
I got a brotherhood, and it's a real brotherhood, and it's a loyal and honest brotherhood, and that's what matters.
Casey Bryant here with Tim Luce for the 1A2A Washington State Championship, where Enumclaw has opened up an 8-4 lead in the second quarter. And my goodness, what a start here for Cole Carnino. 4 goals already.
Yeah, he's easily developing player of the game, vote from us here in the booth. He is assisting, shooting goals. He's doing it all. Anything you could want from a high school lacrosse athlete.
And I tell you, there's a lot of star power on either side. I mean, if you look at Enumclaw, Popke, Carnino, Richardson, great players. Tracty, great player. For Bellingham, Wyatt Steff and Eli Martins, they've got a lot of star power themselves and a terrific goalie. But right now, the ball's been kept out of Wyatt Steffen's hands, and that's been the difference.
I agree. Yeah, they got to get the ball into their points leader's net so he can start shooting and going to work. But, if they can't win on face-off, Enumclaw is going to stay on top.
And Richardson wins it for the Hornets once more, and so Kobe Kane will work on the outside. Works it around behind. Popke has Carnino over to his right. He finds him. Carnino, part of last year's state championship team, had 10 goals, 15 points in 3 playoff games en route to the state title. Starting forward, Tracty lowering his shoulder, burns his way through 3 defenders, and scores! Goodness me, what a goal by Tracty!
He just bullies his way all the way to the cage, and this time they'll make him pay one more time. A slow bouncer right here, right in front of the cage. The goalie just not able to get wide enough chasing the ball. Unfortunate for O'Malley, but one more for Gunner.
I mean, Gunner Tracty, his first name's Gunner, but he's built like a tank. Oh, my goodness.
He's a monster of a man, proving it here on the field very, very difficult to stop, but bulldodging through 3 and 4 defenders to get his way to the crease. So much so it looks like they're going to give him a stick check on the sideline there and make sure that he's all legal.
My God. I mean, I'm sure that's gamesmanship. You're just trying to slow his roll a little bit, but, I mean, that's about as strong an effort as you can see from an individual effort. He has one completely wrapping his arms around him, shoulders through a second, and then a third steps up that bounces off of him.
And that's every reason they give the ball to him. He's big enough. He can take the wax through the gauntlet and muscle his way to the crease and bang one in the back of the net for his team.
Now, there's 4:49 left in the second quarter, and something that I think is worth pointing out here, Tim, is that Rourke O'Malley has not given up 10 goals in a single game in any of his last 23 games. He hasn't allowed 10 since March 30th, 2023, in a loss to Burlington Edison. I mean, that is a long streak of single-digit goals allowed, and Enumclaw in the first half is on the verge of doing just that.
And it looks like in the stick check, they'll find a penalty against Tracty, and they'll have to correct that. But he'll spend a moment in the box, and Bellingham will get a much-needed man-up opportunity against the Hornets.
And they need something to stop the bleeding, as they have allowed at this point 5 unanswered. Now, I believe they are wiping the goal off the board there for Gunnar Tracty. At least they have pulled it off of the scoreboard, and Tracty will sit. And so for the illegal stick for Tracty, it makes it an 8-4 game, and that's huge. And I tell you, it erases a highlight reel goal, unfortunately. But now Bellingham with a prime opportunity to turn the tides. This could be a huge momentum swing if they're able to capitalize. Here's Holden Bates looking over to his left. They get it down low. Wyatt Steffen. He's been needing the ball on his stick, and he gets it. Charging over to his right. Searching for a lane. Stops short in front of a midfielder. Steffen will retreat.
Enumclaw doing a great job defensively, keeping Steffen at bay, not allowing him to get inside of his shooting range.
Wyatt New standing in front of him, marking a man-on-man. High pass over to his left. Behind the net now, looking for Campos. Cyrus Campos out in front. An errant pass is scooped up off the ground by Steffen.
Looking for Eli Martins, the quick stick. He's cutting over the middle, just unable to connect.
Centering pass is broken up. A good play there by Gregory Garwick-Fox.
Martin able to recover. And he'll send it back to 19, Wyatt Steffen.
Steffen to his left, Martins. Looking for another pass that bounces away. Intended for Giles Johnson. And a key defensive zone stand there for Enumclaw. 8-4 is your score in favor of the Hornets. A goal by Tracty called back for an illegal stick. And so it is only a 4-goal deficit. Bodies tumbling down. Enumclaw reaching forward. It bounces out to the far sideline. And it will reach the scorer's table despite a diving effort there from Kobe Kane.
Kobe Kane left his feet diving into the sideline to try and save that.
He wants that GB in his stat line.
Absolutely.
3:15 left in the quarter. Starting up with it now are the Bellingham Bayhawks. And a flag will be thrown. We have a penalty going against Bellingham, I believe. As we have a stoppage, and the officiating crew will huddle with the statisticians. Sorting it out as there's 3:11 remaining in the first half of the 1A, 2A state championship. STSPN with coverage of the Washington State Championship all day long.
That'll be a penalty. They're putting Carnino in the box. He's now next to Tracty, both of them in the penalty box, and Bellingham now 2-man up, a rare occasion.
And I mean, this is a prime opportunity because those are two of the best ball possessors on this team. And an opportunity for the Bayhawks. Around behind the net. Holden Bates works it around the perimeter to Steffen at the top. Steffen fakes the pass, winds up and fires, and that misses well high. And possession will go over to Enumclaw.
Goalie getting out of the crease and winning the chase there for the Hornets. Excellent wherewithal by Liam Bollinger.
That's important. Bollinger, a junior who asserted the starting job as a sophomore, was 14-1 last year, including a 3-0 perfect record in the playoffs. Up the other way, here come the Hornets.
Wyatt New taking a little physicality as he gets the ball down to Struthers.
And Struthers holding on the outside, and Trachty back out onto the field. And he'll start forward as Trachty hits the brakes, bounces off a defender, forced down to one knee, retains possession, good cradle, and a whistle will blow.
They'll call that a ward against Trachty. He got his arm up trying to ward away the opponent, and Bellingham will now take over.
And so now things getting a little tight for Trachty. I mean, for someone who's as big and as physical, that's what you kind of have to try to goad him into. Because there's a pass that's off the top of the stick, gotten right back by Bellingham. Here come the Bayhawks. It is Bates over to his left, looking for a man in Johnson, and can't connect. Race for the ball at the far sideline, won by Enumclaw.
Just inches away from Johnson's stick over there. That would have been a money shot for them. But that seems to be the problem with Bellingham here in the first half, is just unable to connect with their passes.
Which is a far cry from what it was to start the game. Before, it was Enumclaw being forced into the offensive errors. And now a chance on the doorstep. Struthers with the tap-in attempt for Popke, who can't connect. A good save there by O'Malley.
Quick down, Popke tried to grab it off the bounce, just unable to connect. And anything happened in front of O'Malley, he's going to snag up.
120, and O'Malley with a bomb of a feed, and he connects. And an open lane and an opportunity here for Campos in a shotless block.
Now Frost loses it far side.
Stepping up, and another unencumbered chance, and a save made by Bollinger right on the goal line, denying Simon Fuller. Here come the Hornets up the other way in transition, racing for the ball. Bounces by a defender. Can't quite scoop it up. Here's Craig Head.
And they swarm the ball once again. That's the Enumclaw's approach. As soon as they lose the ball, they put everybody on getting it.
Steffen over for a rising shot off the twig of Bates, who tried to go low to high. 46 seconds remaining in the first half. An 8-4 Enumclaw advantage. Bellingham with the ball, a chance to strike before half's end. Working the outside, it's Bates.
Golden Bates from GLE. He'll take on the defender, Anthony Mills.
Gets the pick, gets a lane, walks to the net, and a pass that's well out of reach of Giles Johnson.
Mills hits him with the chase, gets him with a stick from behind, sends the ball wide.
Possession still to the Bayhawks, is popping in front, a rising shot off of Johnson. Again, misses the mark.
Popke over the pipe, out of bounds.
And 17.6 remaining here in the second quarter. Holding on to it is Campos. Cyrus Campos cutting over to the near side post. Bouncing ball picked up. One more chance here for Bates. Takes a shoulder check. And Enumclaw Hornets trying to clog the middle. Stolen away. Final seconds of the half will tick away. And a massive defensive zone stand for the Enumclaw Hornets to close out the half. Terrific conclusion there. If you're the Hornets, you got to be satisfied with the way they not only killed off those penalties, but clogged the middle at the end.
Absolutely. You couldn't have anticipated a 4-point lead going into any championship game, but they've got one in front of them here. Enumclaw, like you said, should be very proud heading to the sideline.
And so we've reached the end of the first half. Hat tricks already scored by Cole Carnino and the Enumclaw Hornets. Meanwhile, 2-goal performances from Jack Popke. Meanwhile, for Bellingham, a 2-goal night out of Wyatt Steffen so far. 8-4 Hornets heading into halftime. We'll be back briefly. You are watching and listening to STSPN's coverage. A reminder, of course, the Seattle Lacrosse Club is the longest-running post-collegiate lacrosse team in the Pacific Northwest, dating back to the early 1970s. The current 30-man team has players from Bellingham to Tacoma and everywhere in between. 19 players played NCAA college lacrosse at schools such as Notre Dame, Denver, Army, Vermont, Marist, Nazareth, Cabrini, and Mercyhurst, while the majority of the others played MCLA at the University of Washington. Most of the players are locally born and continue to coach for WHS BLA programs. Geez, that's nice. We're back with more of the 1A, 2A state championship. Don't go anywhere.
Lacrosse Wolf is the Northwest premier supplier.
This is what we train for, every day.
We just received new intel that there's an enemy presence at the airstrip compound.
All those years. When you're the first to arrive, it's not enough to be ready. You have to be relentless. It's our job to control the ground and the sky, wherever they may meet, even behind enemy lines. They call us one-man air traffic control towers, but we're more than that.
Ivy Lima Charlie, break. Airfield is stable. You are clear to land.
We turn hell into an airstrip. And clear the way for others to follow.
Good time. Casey Bryant, Tim Luce back for the third quarter. Started the second half of the 1A, 2A Washington State Boys Lacrosse State Championship. Enumclaw with an 8-4 lead heading into the second half. And Tim, it was all Enumclaw there from really the midway point of the first quarter on. What does Bellingham have to do in order to respond here and try to get some momentum in the second half?
Bellingham's going to really have to get their ball movement together. They're going to have to, once they gain possession, they're going to have to move the ball and capitalize on every possession. Catch up is the hardest thing to do in this game, and they're going to have to do it well.
Well, Enumclaw has shown the blueprint in that they trailed 3-0 and now lead by 4. So Bellingham in a 4-goal deficit has some work to do. But possession to Enumclaw to start the second half. Enumclaw running from left to right on your STSPN YouTube screen. As hopping behind the net is Kobe Kane. Kane with an assist in the first half, throws it in front. And looking for Carnino and couldn't quite connect. With the loose ball scooped up and kept onside by Wiley Craighead. Back to Carnino, who had himself 4 goals, a hat trick in the second quarter alone. Carnino starts forward. Slows up, bounces behind the net. Hands off and a chance for Popke. Almost lost his footing, and a flag will be thrown as Popke crosses. A great pass and a bounce and a shot save made by O'Malley.
Aiden Voorhees waiting far side from the pass. Takes a rip. Denied.
And for O'Malley, that is his 10th save of the afternoon. He was 9 for 17 in the first half. Strong showing there for O'Malley, who was inundated with shots. To get 17 shots in a half is really impressive.
Absolutely.
And so the Hornets, after the flag, have an opportunity to attack.
And man up. Starting with Popke, far side.
Popke's got Tracty over to his right. If he wants him, he finds him. Over for New. Short passing, working the perimeter. Kane, down low. Carnino bounces, scores, his 5th. Back to work.
To say somebody is shifty, this guy is shifty at the crease. Got him with a head fake to give himself an opening, then makes him pay, putting one down low. Enumclaw now up one more, 9-4.
And for Cole Carnino, that is his third 5-goal performance of the season. Should be noted, no double hat tricks over the course of his campaign or in his high school lacrosse season. And wouldn't that be something to punctuate his career as a senior with a double hat trick in the state championship game against Bellingham?
I was just going to say, Casey, the game is done.
There's a lot of time left as we're still less than 2 minutes into the second half. And Enumclaw back to work. Here's Kane.
Obi Kane finds the good grass, sending the ball down to X.
Around behind the net, Popke for Carnino, who's got the hot stick today. Out to New. Wyatt New over for Aiden Voorhees. Voorhees and New formulate some of the most aggressive midfielders on this team. A lot of ground ball hawks, but a turnover there on the part.
Rare miscommunication with the offense here for Enumclaw, traveling one out of bounds. Now Bellingham on approach.
Long pass, leapt up into the air and fielded there by Martins. Martins striding ahead, an opportunity for Bellingham. Send it around behind the net. Crossing over Giles Johnson. Scored the second goal of the game for Bellingham. 2 goals for Steffen, 1 goal for Johnson, 1 goal for Martins. And from a high slot chance, and oh boy, knocked down to the turf was Bly Henderson. A loose ball hops behind the Enumclaw net. Protecting with a high stick, forcing the turnover is Giles Johnson, bouncing around and flung over to the far side and scooped up and run out of danger by Anthony Mills. Slowed down, good offensive pressure there from Bellingham. It doesn't result in much towards Bollinger.
Harper sending one up to Voorhees, now across midfield line. Voorhees with a trail check going to the turf, and Bellingham takes it over.
Great stick work there by Steffen, is holding onto the ball still despite getting mauled as Steffen. Look at the strength. Takes another check to the hip.
Came up and found Tracty, something you don't want to find coming
and
off
down
the
low,
turf.
point blank chance and a save. Denied on the goal line. Bollinger with a beauty. And that was a point blank, just shooter and netminder down low, and a great job by Bollinger. And possession to the Bayhawks. A 9-4 deficit as Bly Henderson will hold at the near sideline.
RJ Struthers brings the ball in for Bellingham. Oh,
on the near side, that's Henderson, yeah.
You got me.
Henderson over to his right. He finds Eli Martins, primary distributor of the offense in the regular season. And a chance in front. That whistles well high. Holden Bates, the trigger man. Bates with 28 strikes in the regular season. 10 goals in 2 playoff games heading into today, but has been held out from the back of the net. Bayhawks with an opportunity, 7:45 left in the quarter.
Giles Johnson taking on Will Harper. In the near corner, he'll get it around.
He finds it to Henderson. Stepping up, Martins trying to show his speed. Gets it now for a point-blank chance, and Bates again missing high. Bates a little hair off with his direction finder here and trying to find the net.
Wow, he's trying to hit that ball on a spin. He's coming around just trying to get it in as fast as he can before the defender makes it to him.
Still with possession are the Bellingham Bayhawks. Cyrus Campos, who has impressed so far today as a sophomore in a big moment. Getting out for an opportunity for Martins. Fakes one way, cuts another, hits the brakes. Martins looking for a passing option, and it's batted out of the air. An interception, but a flag. And you can see they're entrapping Martins over on that far side. He looks around, but he can't see anything but white sweaters around him.
Yeah, Enumclaw doing a great job continuing to hound the ball carrier as soon as they lose possession, and that's going to be a key for them staying ahead here in the championships.
And so Wyatt Steffen, who's got 2 goals and an assist so far tonight, will hold on to it. Stefan, who has scored in every game he's played so far this season. Martin's bouncing it towards the middle of the net, trying to find a chance down low. Stolen away, and away comes Enumclaw. Great speed being flashed there by Anthony Mills to run away from danger. And Mills is harangued at center. Picked up and carried in by the Hornets. New over to his right. Kane has a man in front. He looks him off as Kane charges to the net. And a turnover. As Enumclaw was barreling towards the net, but they will rule it
offsides. Look at
offside
call against Enumclaw, but it looks like they're going to get it right back.
Oh boy, another unforced error. Is great offensive pressure there by Kane, who just never left that position.
Absolutely. Kobe Kane getting a stick up and drawing that one out of the air, taking it back in possession for Enumclaw, who now once again setting up their offense.
And Wyatt New will slow things down as a very deliberate change. Aiden Voorhees comes out from the sideline to join the fray. Taking his sweet time.
And he's got all the time in the world, and until they start to press him, he's going to own the clock. And with a 5-point lead, you can't blame him.
Yeah, slow things down, catch your breath. He spent a lot of time with the ball in his cradle. Wiley Craighead finds it over to Carnino, who's got 5 goals today.
I don't know if I've been in the stands today.
Stopping short in front, Carnino dishes down low. A pass off the legs of O'Malley. O'Malley will trap it in front of the crease. Flicks it up into the air. Sticks down, and a chance here for Gabriel Van Hofwegen in his second season on varsity. Gets it up to Martins. Martins spins in front of the defender. As Stefan begins to trot to the net front, trying to open up some space. Bellingham right now being limited to the perimeter. Look at this stick checking here by Will Harper.
Giles Johnson did a great job able to hold on to the ball there because he was getting some abuse.
Now Martins powers forward. Down low for Johnson. He misses.
Quick pass by Voorhees. Good look seeing the man down on the crease.
No, Johnson didn't miss by much there. He got a lot behind that shot. 4:49 left here in the third quarter. Bellingham has not found the back of the net since early in the second quarter. Here's a steal attempt. Reaching for it is Shatswell.
Garrison Shatswell getting a stick out, causing ground ball and a turnover.
It's one thing to have that kind of reach. It's another to know how to use it. And Shatswell is doing a tremendous job on the back end today.
Absolutely surgical with the deep hole.
It is Giles Johnson, one of the captains on this Bellingham squad. Johnson out in front, and a weak shot is turned away by Bollinger.
Good quality defense right there, number 5, Wiley Craighead, putting a body on the shooter and sending that goal way off target. And now Enumclaw back on approach.
A good shot there because Martins is in a dangerous spot there. He's losing his footing because of the hit. A job well done. And up the other way. Popke has it stolen away. Good job there by Bly Henderson.
Henderson with a trail check, getting the ball down. Now,
oh boy. Heavy hit along the near sideline, and Enumclaw will take possession. And that will get a standing ovation.
What a collision. Jack Popke comes from 10 yards out and lays a hat.
That's got to be up there for heaviest hit of the day.
Absolutely. Speaking of heavy hitters, Trachty now sending the ball around far side.
Whenever the ball crosses that center line, Trachty comes charging out from the sideline, ready to join the fray. And up left side, New. Rising shot for, he scores!
Falling back almost as if a fadeaway. Looks like he might be cramping up on the field, and Trachty's going to help him through it. What team camaraderie these guys have, and that really is something that's going to set your team apart, having that brotherhood bond on the field. And look at these guys taking care of each other. Outstanding sportsmanship.
A terrific shot there by Aiden Voorhees, who will hobble his way to the sideline. Paid a heavy price, but worth it to get the 10th goal by Rourke O'Malley, thus ending a 23-game-long stretch of single-digit goals allowed for Bellingham and O'Malley. Not since March 30th, 2023, has O'Malley allowed 10.
And here come the fans with the Enumclaw chant once again. Fans staying involved from beginning to end here for the Hornets.
Well, for a predominantly Enumclaw contingent here, they've had a lot to cheer for here this afternoon.
Absolutely. Good on the players giving these fans a show, and it just never ends.
Richardson barreling down the highway, slows up in front, spins a defender. He shoots and a save made by O'Malley.
What a save. O'Malley brings in, backhands the ball out of bounds, then gets out of the crease for the chase, just not quick enough.
Now, Richardson in the first half, 10-2 on faceoffs. That has been so incredibly important for this contest.
80% at faceoff is just unheard of, especially in a postseason game, much less here in the championship. Got to give credit to this young man playing hard today for his team.
I mean, one word for that, dialed. You are in from the get-go. Quick passing looking for Carnino, hops underneath his stick. Possession will go to Bellingham. A 10-4 Enumclaw Hornets lead with 2:47 remaining in the third quarter. And Enumclaw has had their run of things for the majority of the contest now at this point, as a bomb of a pass bounces just past the outstretched stick of Holden Bates. And this one will be back towards Enumclaw.
Yeah, that's failed clear. Like, I understand getting the ball across field, but we got to make sure it connects with one of our players. We're just giving it away here. That's small mistakes we don't want to make. And Enumclaw is going to make them pay every time. Here goes New across midfield.
New racing for it. Back for Tracty. Holding on to it. Tracty has two sticks around him. Spins through him. Two more try to get the ball out of his stick. He retains possession. He is chased behind that goal line. Centering pass out in front. Opportunity for Carnino, a save by O'Malley. A wide open net and a shot off the side of the twine by Kane. In front, Carnino, bouncing save by O'Malley. Just got a piece of it as it hopped over the net. And a scramble for the ball, and possession will go to Bellingham. A frenetic effort in front.
Wow, what a battle in front of the cage. Big men going at it. And still, Enumclaw having the wherewithal to go rebound after rebound, shot after shot, able to scoop these ground balls and continue firing. Just beyond me. Insane.
And Kobe Kane with a prime opportunity. O'Malley was down and out on that one chance. He's got a lot of net to shoot at there, but only a half second to release. Kane will get the ball back as the Hornets maintaining their offensive zone time. Here's Aiden Voorhees. Voorhees, the senior. Jansen, a shot and a save made there by O'Malley, cleanly into the netting. He read that perfectly.
Quick whip from New right down the pipe.
But an interception as O'Malley can't clear. Striding right back in and a timeout. Oh, a flag. Check that.
The flag is waved off, but it'll go Bellingham's ball. They're going to turn it over.
Now, in reading the body language of Giles Johnson there for a moment, when O'Malley sends it up ice, Johnson starts hopping up and down. You can tell he wants the ball. He wants these transitions to be crisper. And right now, that's got to be a point of emphasis for Zach Lorenz, the head coach of Bellingham.
Absolutely. Everything has got to crispen up and get a lot tighter when it comes to passing, shooting, and our assists.
Meanwhile, on the other end of things, David Pugh, the head coach of the Enumclaw Hornets, has to be impressed with the clinical nature of their advances, as here's Voorhees once more. Voorhees looking for Kane. Nice leaping effort by Kane. Maintains some pressure. Kane loses his footing, but has some space with Frost in front of him. Athletic play there by Kane.
Absolutely. From the turf, back up, still making the pass complete.
Again, not the tallest guy out there, but that reach.
Good defensive play there from Evan Jock, the senior deep hole, taking the ball back for Bellingham and across midfield line with Voorhees in tow.
And a good effort there by Jacques. Giles Johnson slowing things down with Bellingham trying to find a way to penetrate. 20 seconds to go here in the third quarter. It is 10-4 Enumclaw. A pass in front and a chance they score. Key goal there for Eli Martins, his second of the afternoon.
Wyatt Steffen stepping up, the senior, feeding Martins down on the crease. See here in the replay, good look. And Martins makes him pay. Quick stick, bang it to the left side. Glove side of the goalkeeper. And one more on the board for Bellingham.
Steffen now has points in 4 of the 5 goals scored so far today by Bellingham, and with 15 seconds left in the third quarter, that might be the shot in the arm they needed to try to break through here in the second half. That's the first goal of the half for them.
Looking for a spark to take off, and that could, you're very well right, could just be it.
They had gone nearly 24 full minutes without finding the back of the net. They scored very early in the second quarter. And a face-off won by Richardson. Automatic. Quick passing. Down low. Popke. Score!
That right there is textbook lacrosse. You win face-off, you make your pass, and then you make them pay. Great work by the Hornets right here and doing exactly what you practice day in and day out and making it translate onto the championship field.
It takes just 8 seconds after the last goal scored by Bellingham for Enumclaw to find a response. I mean, win the face-off, pass, shoot, score. That's clinical.
It's so easy for us to say, more difficult to carry out, but it didn't look that difficult just now.
No, that's EA Sports on easy mode right there.
Absolutely.
And so in the waning seconds here of the third quarter, what we thought might be something to give them a little bit of confidence now has turned into yet another opportunity. Here's Carnino! Score! No, off the outside of the twine.
That's why they call it a mom goal, Casey.
Oh.
All the moms are standing up in the stands scoring just with you.
No, I tell you, Carnino put his arms in the air. I think it fooled even him.
Yeah, it's very fooling. Everybody gets excited.
I tell you, so one last gasp for Enumclaw at the gun, and we head into the fourth quarter with a 6-goal advantage for the Hornets. Goodness me, what a surge in the second half this has been for Enumclaw. And so before we head to one more break heading into the fourth quarter, a reminder that the Seattle Lacrosse Club is the longest-running post-collegiate lacrosse team in the Pacific Northwest, dating back to the early 1970s. Current 30-man team has players from Bellingham to Tacoma and everywhere in between. 19 players played NCAA college lacrosse at schools such as Notre Dame, Denver, Army, Vermont, Marist, Nazareth, Cabrini, and Mercyhurst, while the majority of others played MCLA at the University of Washington. Most of the players are locally born and continue to coach for WHS BLA programs. Geez, that's nice. 11-5 Enumclaw. We'll take a quick timeout. You are watching STSPN's coverage of the 1A-2A Washington State Boys Lacrosse Championship.
Lacrosse Wolf is the Northwest premier supplier for all.
Flips it behind the net. Opportunity for Popke looking for Carnino. Pass broken up. It's loose over by the crease. Taking a swing at it with his leg there was Jacques.
Batted down there by Gabriel Van Hofwagen.
And Popke gets it right back. Popke winds and sends one wide.
Popke looked like he might have taken one on the leg there, kind of shaking that one out.
Shake out that right leg, you're right. As Wyatt Steffen will carry it from way behind his net. Steffen with 4 points on 5 goals tonight. 2 of them have come from him. He crosses center, trying to give this Bayhawks defensive core a reprieve. They've spent a lot of time moving around in their own zone. Steffen finds Bly Henderson, taking the step forward. Henderson has Fuller to his right, hits him. Sending it over to the near side post and can't quite holding the pass on is Holden Bates. Struggling to keep it in his cradle, and Bates is shouldered away from the ball, still scrambling for it.
Anthony Mills getting his stick in, fighting.
Finally, Bates able to settle it down as Bates a bit jumpy trying to get to it. Now cuts to the middle. Bates with a shot and a save made by Bollinger.
Bollinger getting his net into the turf and scooping that one out. The flag flies near sideline.
Bollinger was just 2 for 6 in the first half, but here in the second, he's only allowed 1 tally, and that came very late in the third quarter. He's made a couple of key stops.
Flag penalty is going to go against Enumclaw. Voorhees will take a knee, it looks like, for a stick check. And now Bellingham, man up. 6 points down, 9:22 left to play, looking to take advantage.
And Voorhees is using this opportunity to keep on stretching over on the sideline. He's still nursing that right leg a bit, you can tell. As here's Bates. Bounce pass is well out of reach. Intended for Campos, and it's picked right up by Enumclaw. And those first passes to try to initiate the offense for Bellingham just aren't there. A lot of miscommunications, misdirections. Big old pile up looking for the ball as Campos trying to lower his shoulder like a bull, and he's wrestled down to the turf.
Popkey looks like he might have got a full extension there. That'll be a penalty against Enumclaw. And once again, Bellingham will take over. Just a loss of possession, no man in the box.
As Henderson starts forward, Henderson finds his way to Campos. Campos slings it over to the doorstep, looking down low, a chance they score. And Martins completes the hat trick, his third. And it is 11-6.
Eli Martin's looking like he's seemingly out of gas. He's going to have to find what's left in the tank. Hopefully this one will give him a little inspiration, putting one in the back of the net here. Looks like the goalie just got right around that far pipe and left the net a little bit open, and that's all it takes. Martin made him pay.
His 5th hat trick of the season, his 7th of his high school lacrosse career. Eli Martins, the midfield senior, has scored both second half goals here for the Bellingham Bayhawks. And he's got 8 minutes and 40 seconds left to try to help overcome a 5-goal deficit here for Bellingham.
It's going to be very difficult to do if he can't get the ball away from Colby Richardson out at midfield.
And even when Richardson doesn't win the faceoff cleanly, he steals it right back. He's so aggressive, so quick, as he heads right back over to the sideline. And he'll be replaced by fresh out of the box Voorhees, and there's a chance in front, and they score. The responses from Enumclaw.
Popkey waiting patiently on the near side of the crease. They'll find him right in front of the doorstep right here in the replay, calling for the ball. Popkey bounces one in right on the goalie, Rourke O'Malley.
He gets O'Malley to bite hard on that attempt there from Kane. And that's the second helper of the day from Kobe Kane as well. Again, as soon as Bellingham scores, there's a response from Enumclaw. There has not been any let up in their forward progress.
Absolutely, right away they just keep the knee down and not allowing Bellingham to close the gap.
And so possession will be to Bellingham after an early faceoff infraction carried up by Steffen. Steffen winds and bounces one that's off the shoulder of Bollinger. Around behind, possession will remain with Bellingham. Keeping things alive is Martins. Starting forward, lowering his shoulder, spins off a defender. Martins, saved by Bollinger.
Looking to switch hands coming in. It's a bad angle, but the goalie, Bollinger, is all over it.
Carried forth. Over to the right, a chance here for Kane. That's blocked. Bouncing ball is scooped up and carried away. Good chance here for Cyrus Campos in transition. Sends it over to Bates. Cuts to the middle. Bates, point blank. Off the knee of Bollinger. 3 straight key saves there for Bollinger.
Bollinger got his foot out, extended just to get that ball out of the way. Excellent body placement in front of the goal, protecting the house.
Bollinger, who made 14 starts in the regular season for Enumclaw Hornets. 10-4 in the regular season, a 643 goals against average, a 575 save percentage. He's right on target. Only 6 goals allowed here to Bellingham throughout the course of this 1A, 2A state championship on STSPN. Casey Bryant here with Tim Luce. So glad you could join us here this afternoon, as STSPN is the premier spot for all high school sports in the Pacific Northwest. As here comes Bates out for a chance and a rising shot and a save made by Bollinger. What a beauty.
Yeah, you can't take that direct on-goal shot with Bollinger. He's gonna deny you every time. You're gonna have to be a little bit more tricky to get one past him.
And he is standing on his head here in the fourth quarter, as here's a chance now, as spinning with it, a chance for Struthers. Couldn't quite get a lane to the net. Good harassment there by Gabriel Van Hofwegen.
Hofwegen wore one on the last attempt by Enumclaw. He's doing really well defensively for Bellingham.
Tracty, who had a goal removed back in the second quarter, but has nonetheless been an impact player for Enumclaw. Carrying it in. draws defenders, wrapped up from behind, and the ball stripped away from his stick, and a whistle blows and a flag.
Flag far side. They're going to call a slash there. Trachty took 3 or 4 whacks to a couple defenders trying to make his way to the crease.
I mean, that's got to be like, it's almost a cheat code of how to draw a penalty. Get it to the big man and let him just crash and bang.
And that's exactly what's paying off for Enumclaw here in the 4th. Just hand the ball to the big man, and the penalties will save you.
It's near impossible to bring him down. He's going Marshawn Lynch beast mode on his way to the net every time.
Yeah, you got to tackle that one, and unfortunately not allowed in lacrosse.
Here's Trachty holding on to it. He's got New to his right. Goes the short way to Carnino, who winds. Carnino flicks it up into the air. Can't quite connect with Popke. Ball left behind the net. Chasing it is Carnino. He wins it away to Popke. Popke to Trachty. Can't quite get the shot off. Stick check there by Steffen. Steffen and Trachty both battling for it. One away by Bellingham, but scooping it off is New. Good job by New. Sends it down low. Popke point blank scores.
Popke hit him with a couple pump fakes right in front of the crease. And he's cramping up. And we're going to have to get some water to the far sideline. We've got a couple players cramping up now from the Enumclaw Hornets. Popke gets a stretch. We'll see from the replay. Up, down, up, and in the goal. Popke makes him pay.
Popke's 5th of the contest. Between him and Cole Carnino, the two of them have combined for 10 of the 13 goals here scored by Enumclaw.
Feed him.
If you're hot, you're hot, right?
You let him cook. Absolutely.
Was it NBA Jam where the shots literally turn to flames as they turn into the net?
He's on fire!
Exactly.
Yeah, feed him.
That's how it feels. 5:47 remaining in the 4th quarter. It is a 13-6 Enumclaw lead.
Richardson maintaining his 80% out at faceoff, just killing it today for Enumclaw.
And Bellingham in dire need of not just one goal. Now you have to start to string together multiple good offensive zone pressures, and that's the key. Is the last 2 goals they've scored, the 2 goals they've scored in the last second half here, they've had an immediate response within seconds.
They got to get the pedal to the metal and not let up, but they also can't let things like this happen. Simple takeaways at the middle of the field, changing possession, getting the ball into Enumclaw's net is not a good sign.
It's good game plan here for Enumclaw. They're just reading the offensive transition so well. They're taking the step up, interceptions, taking the body. It's good preparation.
Absolutely. Great 10-man ride from Enumclaw. Anytime possession changes, they all swarm to the ball. Once again, pun intended. The Hornets now losing the ball, 26.
That's Cyrus Campos scooping it up, and Campos charges up the left wing. And Campos breezes by a defender on his way up the left side, gets it down low for Martins. And Martins will slow things up back for Frost.
Campos got around Voorhees, broke his stick on him on the far side. He still maintained possession.
And Frost works it around the perimeter now. Bates. Holden Bates, 28 goals in the regular season, is denied on the doorstep by Bollinger. And Bollinger pounces on the loose ball.
Bollinger leaping, getting his cross out in front of him, able to stop ball there, but just miscommunication getting the ball back to his waiting man, Wiley Craighead.
And I tell you, that's just such a great save there by Bollinger. And you can tell Bates is a little frustrated. Bates is used to being able to put the ball in the back of the net. He's been completely held at bay here today.
Yeah, for a seemingly smaller guy, Bates bodies his way all the way to the crease with ease.
And another save there by Bollinger, that time denying Campos. Bouncing ball at center with under 4 minutes to go in the 1A2A state championship here.
Now Enumclaw starting to make some of the mistakes we saw Bellingham make earlier in the game and not making connected passes.
They do have a significant cushion to work with, though. That's the difference.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Here's Kane
with a dot across field.
A gorgeous feed, looking backdoor for the alley-oop, and Struthers can't quite connect.
And then catch a push there on the back. And it looks like this one will go against number 24, Gabriel Van Hothwagen. He'll take a knee in the penalty box. one thing you don't want to do here in the fourth or at all really is give Enumclaw an advantage, and they did just that.
And I tell you, that was the feed there from Kobe Kane. He wanted the slam dunk feed to spike it right down in.
Alley-oop.
That was, get up there, big guy. And Struthers very nearly was able to connect. 3.5 to go. Beginning with it will be Carnino. Over for Tracty. Gunnar Tracty. Over to his right, bouncing ball for Kobe Kane. Kane with a defender in front of him, back out to New. Carnino, who's got 5.
Enumclaw just needing to hold on possession here for the last 3 minutes of the game.
Carnino, no double hatties in his career.
Bounce one off of the defender. Kobe, he'll wing one over the pipe and out of bounds.
And you wonder, honestly, Carnino hasn't looked to shoot a whole heck of a lot here in the second half. He's content to just spread the wealth. And Tracty with a missile. Goodness me.
Wow, you wouldn't want to get a body in front of that one. Sheesh. Carnino doing a wonderful job tonight, playing unselfishly for his team, something you want to see out of all your players. Senior being a leader.
Now, he's not someone, I believe, who has gotten any kind of all-conference recognition, correct? I don't believe so. Is he?
Yeah, I haven't seen anything on him.
It doesn't seem like. For all of the other recognition that's gone up and down for guys like Popke, guys like New, is he one of those guys that perhaps has been snubbed as there's a shot that's rejected by O'Malley on the bounce shot?
Yeah, I'd have to say maybe he just missed out on recognition there, but he's every bit an all-conference player.
And there's Carnino.
Right as we're talking, his ears must be burning. And has a sideways sidearm shot, net side on the goalie, and stings that right side of the net, putting Enumclaw up one more, 14-6, 2 minutes left in the game.
His 11th hat trick of the season and the first career double hat trick for Cole Carnino.
Reaches down to find the good grass for a little bit of a celly. We haven't seen much celebration in the whole competition today.
But I'm sure you'll see a big one coming up in 2 minutes and 23 seconds because at this point the route is on here for Enumclaw, 14-6, and time continuing to tick away as Enumclaw wins the face-off, and they are inching ever closer to a state title at the 1A, 2A level. Bellingham rushing ahead, trying to make a last stand, and Henderson is stripped from behind.
Trail check by New right there, causing the ball down, and we're going the other way once again.
And Harper feeds Carnino, looking down low. A chance that's whistled wide by Popke.
He postured up perfectly and let it release just off target.
Under 2 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter in what has been an amazing turnaround. Since going down 3-0 in the first few minutes of the first quarter, Enumclaw has outscored Bellingham 14-3.
Yeah, defending champions may have gone down, but they are never out and now up by a significant lead coming to the end of the fourth.
Taking the step up is New, feeding, looking for a chance in the middle as Salvador Trinado, a senior, getting a shift out there. And you start to see a few more seniors out there and some depth pieces getting some shifts in the late goings. You see the freshman Ryder Curtis is out there for Enumclaw as well, giving them a spin and letting everybody get a chance to taste the glory in the final minute.
Absolutely.
Minute 15 to go.
What a feeling as a freshman player getting on the field. This is ultimately the biggest show of the season. Got to feel good.
And you see the attackmen for Bellingham and the defenders of Enumclaw are kind of huddled in front of the Enumclaw net as time continues to expire. They know what is coming as Kobe Kane spins with it and came with a bouncer.
That's a Mongol.
Off the side of the net.
The crowd go wild to the side of the net. They just can't see from the angle. That one rolling outside.
And O'Malley will send it up into the air. Picked up by Bellingham at center.
And here's the swarm we've been talking about all game long. As soon as possession is lost from Enumclaw, they swarm the ball to get it back. And even the fans join in.
As we approach the final half minute, here's Carnino in front. Carnino bounces it wide.
Carnino with a head fake, looking to take one over the body and just misses. He's still nursing a cramp, I'm thinking.
Lofted way up. Trachty gets a piece of it. 20 seconds to go. Bouncing with it, here's Bates. Has it swiped away. Will Harper with one more terrific defensive play. And the Enumclaw Hornets have gone back-to-back. 1A, 2A, Washington State champions.
What a phenomenal game played by Enumclaw today. Wow. Deserving win, 100%.
6 goals off the stick of Cole Carnino, 5 from Jack Popke. A terrific surge from Liam Bollinger in net. And head coach David Pugh and assistant coaches Dawson Cutright and Gregory Garwick have themselves a second state championship in as many years. And I tell you, if we're determining the player of the game, it seems to me obvious that Carnino probably deserves that recognition, though there were a lot of contributions.
From beginning to end, Carnino, this game, you and I both agree, 100%. Carnino did it all. He passed, he scored, he assisted, he did it all. Absolutely player of the game in my book.
And so as Enumclaw will chuck their gloves, their helmets, their sticks all around, and they await the trophy ceremony, we'll toss it to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the finale, the post-game report, and an interview with our player of the game. Stay with us. You're watching STSPN's coverage of Washington State Boys Lacrosse State Championships.
Lacrosse Wolf is the Northwest premier supplier for
by Colby Richardson as well, and one for Aiden Voorhees. In what was, in every sense, a tremendous effort out of Enumclaw. They got the saves they needed in the second half when Bellingham started to apply a bit of pressure. They were absolutely dominant on the faceoff dot, with Colby Richardson winning nearly 90% of all the faceoffs here in this afternoon. And then the tag team of Popke and Carnino, unbelievable in terms of generating some offensive pressure. Now, you tip the cap to Rourke O'Malley, the senior goaltender for Bellingham, who was sensational, making some great stops for Bellingham, trying to keep them in the contest. And he was bested 14 times. That is the most goals that he's allowed in some time. And for 8 seniors in Bellingham, congratulations on a successful high school career for Enumclaw. 16 seniors up and down their roster, and I understand that Tim Luce has got himself our player of the game. We'll toss it on down to him as he's got Cole Carnino. Tim.
Hey, thanks, Casey. Down here with senior number 13, Cole Carnino, 6 for 13 goals today. Cole, how's it feel to be a champion one more time?
It's awesome, man. I can't even explain the feeling. It's pretty sweet. There's not really a feeling that can beat it after all that hard work we put in.
Absolutely. Good job with your team. You guys did a wonderful job here today. 6 goals. You and one other player combined scored 90% of your goals today.
Yeah.
You got to feel real good playing with your team. What's it feel like? What did you do to prepare for today?
I don't know. Stayed up, played some Xbox the night before.
Not a whole lot of physical preparation coming into today, and you could never guess that by the display of sportsmanship that he put on. Honor the game. We like to do it. One kid from the other team, you really thought honor the game today?
I'd have to give their goalie a good shout out. He had some good saves today. I mean, really good player.
Absolutely. Bollinger, the goalie, did a wonderful job on the other side in the crease, trying to stop away all the opponent's shots today. Once again, I'm down here with Cole. Did a wonderful job today for the Enumclaw Hornets. 2-time champions, 23 and 24 back-to-back. Way to go, Enumclaw. Thanks again. Congratulations, Cole.
Thank you. Awesome.
Back to you.
Thank you so much, Tim, and thank you to Cole Carnino for joining us here this afternoon. Hearty congratulations to the Enumclaw Hornets, who cap off a back-to-back state championship campaign. A special thanks to Todd Elvig, the STSPN producer here today, and to Tim Luce for doing a dynamite job here for the 4A and 1A, 2A championships this morning. STSPN, be sure to follow them on social media and subscribe to the YouTube channel for premier coverage of everything in the Pacific Northwest for high school sports. They've got you covered for basketball, baseball, lacrosse, football, everything in between, from the start of the school year on through the conclusion. That'll just about wrap things up here from Starfire Sports Stadium for the 1A, 2A state championship. A reminder that the Seattle Lacrosse Club is the longest-running post-collegiate lacrosse team in the Pacific Northwest, dating back to the early 1970s. The current 30-man team has players from Bellingham to Tacoma and everywhere in between. 19 players have played NCAA college lacrosse at schools such as Notre Dame, Denver, Army, Vermont, Marist, Nazareth, Cabrini, and Mercyhurst, while the majority of others played MCLA at the University of Washington. Most of the players are locally born and continue to coach for WHS BLA programs. Geez, that's nice. 14-6, your final. The Enumclaw Hornets are 1A, 2A state championships. For all of us here at STSPN, enjoy the rest of the Washington State Tournament.